My name is Anthony Cervino. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real NFL Guru, and this is the Sports Betting Edge podcast brought to you by OddsJam.com, and we are live right now on Twitch. This video will later be uploaded onto YouTube and then distributed in audio on all the podcast platforms in the universe. And today, what I am going to do, since this is our first live stream on Twitch, I'm going to do a quick betting 101 video on how you can make 100% risk-free money with arbitrage betting using the terrific tools over at oddsjam.com, home to the #1 sports betting tools in the industry. I swear by these tools. I've been using them for right around 6 weeks. I've made over $3,000 in profit, and these things are terrific. And it's not just the arbitrage tools. If you go to oddsjam.com, there are free calculators to calculate just about everything in the sports betting world. There are plus EV bets, plus positive expected value bets. It'll give you everything right there. You just follow the process. It'll tell you how much percentage of your bankroll to wager, and you submit your bet and you wait for the outcome. But these arbitrage bets, these arbitrage wagers, the arbitrage tool at OddsJam, it literally does everything for you, and at the end of the day, you will make 100% guaranteed risk-free money using these tools over at oddsjam.com. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull up these very tools that you can find at OddsJam. And it's the arbitrage betting page. So you go to oddsjam.com, you click on betting tools. We're already here, but I'll just show you. And you click on arbitrage, and we're going to go and find the best wager we can make today. You can sort everything. You can even go into your settings, and you can choose the sports books that you want them to show you. Maybe you're not, you don't have an account at all of the sports books. Maybe you only have 2 or 3. You need more if you really want to become a profitable sports bettor and properly line shop. But if you only have a few to choose from, you can go into the settings and make your choices right then and there, filter everything else out, and only get what you are looking for. For me, I have tons of sports betting accounts. As you can see, I am here in New Jersey. I have a lot of options, but maybe you don't have as many options if you're living in one of these other states. And these are even sortable by state. If you live in Colorado, if you live in Iowa, they will show you the sports books that are only available in your state. Like I said, OddsJam, these tools, it does it for you. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they completely changed the way I sports bet. They changed my whole outlook on sports betting. And I come from the fantasy football world predominantly, but I've always been involved in sports betting, even way before it was legalized in the United States. Obviously, we all had bet us accounts and offshore betting accounts. So I've been doing it for a long time. Only OddsJam, like I said, it completely changed how I do things. There's a completely free bet tracker. Like, if you're not tracking all of your bets, you really don't know if you're a profitable sports bettor. Something that I am learning by tracking all my bets and seeing my daily profits or losses, because you have to expect ebbs and flows. You have to expect losses. You're not going to win every day. Nobody does. But in the long run, if you are profitable, then you are a good sports bettor. So let's get into this arbitrage. And I'm going to sort. You can sort by percentages. You can sort by the date. I like to go by the percentages because the higher percent, the higher the return. So then we're going to go. Here's one here at FanDuel and Borgata. Unfortunately, Borgata, BetMGM, they share odds. I am limited at both. And if you've watched other videos provided by OddsJam over at the OddsJam YouTube video, you see the other hosts talk about being limited. And I am limited myself, especially at BetMGM. They're the absolute worst. They, it doesn't take long. If you're doing well, they're going to cap you, and I'm capped to just about nothing. So I don't even know if I'm going to go here right now, but maybe for the sake of this video, I'll try. So we have Borgata Sportsbook, and we have FanDuel Sportsbook, and you have a 2.83% arbitrage return, which is all risk-free. So you click on this calculator icon, and you look. It's player assists for Tyrese Maxey, the over/under on his total, plus 112 at FanDuel, plus 100 at BetMGM Borgata. So depending on how much bankroll you are playing with, let's say you put in $100 up the top, you wager 106 on the other side, your total stake is $206. Your total payout is $212. But this profit, there's a $6 profit gain by doing this arbitrage wager. And this is $6 in risk-free money. And you might be sitting there, Anthony, what the hell am I going to do with $6? Like, I don't even know if I can buy a value meal at McDonald's with that. Never mind the $6. If you think about it, if you do a couple of these arbitrage bets a day, and let's say you make $50 a day of risk-free money, and let's calculate it. $50 a day of risk-free money times 30 days is $1,500. Are you telling me that your bank is giving you the type of interest rate that they're going to give you $1,500 interest? No. But arbitrage wagering, this risk-free interest that you're getting on your sports betting wagers can potentially give you $1,500 a month. And that's the low end of risk-free money. So yes, this one might be $6, but you get a couple of $6 ones, you get a couple of $5 ones, maybe you get a $15 ones, because sometimes you'll find a big discrepancy at the sports book, and you'll see, I mean, I've taken some of these percentages in the upwards to 7%, and I know there's even more, and you have to act quick. These don't last long. Like, I could probably hit this refresh button right now. There's a good chance it might not be there, and no, it's not there. So because I was explaining this, I didn't act fast enough, because if you don't act fast, these sports books are going to realize, hey, we made a mistake here compared to where everybody else is, and we need to get this on track before we take a really big hit, and that obviously happened. So the next one, there's a 2.55, and that is on the total strikeouts for Chris Sale, who's going to be pitching in right about an hour. However, if you see these two, there's the Pinnacle odds, and Pinnacle is the sharpest sports book in the world. There's the OddsJam odds, and that's where I would call it the like the yard marker of where the odds should be. You obviously can't bet this. Like, we're in America, most of us cannot have access to Pinnacle, but since they're the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're a great gauge to use to see where the fair odds are. So the next one available is Mason Plumlee, over 8.5 rebounds, under 8.5 rebounds. It's a 1.27% return. It's tonight's game, Charlotte Hornets, Indiana Pacers. Let's go back to the calculator. So let's say we put $100 up top. Then you have to wager 85.33 on the bottom, and a little bit of a tip when you're doing arbitrage bets. Try not, and I made these mistakes as a rookie, and it gets you limited quicker because they'll realize you're a pro or you're doing arbitrage when you're putting down to the cent. So round up like $85. Like if it's like anything from, if it go like 85.49 round down, 85.51 round up, or you could just go 85.50. Like 85.50 is a lot better than 85.33, but you get what I mean. So the total stake 185.33, total payout 187.72, and you get a $2.39 risk-free profit. It's a free $2.39. It's like walking down the street and finding a quarter, only you're finding $2.39 for free. And there's a ton of these. Like, if you go down this arbitrage page, I mean, there's quite a few. Obviously, the profit margin regresses as we go down. Some days there's a lot of 2 and 3%, but you got to act quick. Some days there aren't as many. So before we get into this a little bit deeper, when there is an opportunity like this, like anytime there's an arbitrage opportunity, there's a discrepancy on one of the sides. So let's go see. So Chris Sale, 3.5 over, 3.5 under strikeouts. Minus 135 at Pinnacle and OddsJam, and then we see this 150 here, and that's the clear discrepancy, is the plus 150, because Pinnacle, OddsJam, this should be plus 101. You're getting this at plus 150 at DraftKings, is plus 115 at the other sports books that are carrying this current player prop. So if you're going to bet the under on Chris Sale, why in the world would you go to BetMGM or Borgata at plus 115 when you can get terrific odds? You can get so much better odds at DraftKings, and this is why I'll always hammer this home, and this is why the terrific staff and the hosts at OddsJam hammer this home. You need to have ample sports books at your disposal, in your arsenal, because you don't want to be stuck betting this at plus 115 odds at BetMGM when you can get it at plus 115 at DraftKings. So no, you cannot do an arbitrage wager here, but if you wanted to take the under on Chris Sale strikeouts, you can get it at plus 150, and that is an extremely high profitable wager if it hits. So that is a positive expected value wager that you can get right now over at DraftKings if you had these OddsJam tools at your disposal, like I do and like a lot of other terrific customers have. So let's go back to the arbitrage page. Let's see. So obviously this Sale one, we can't do anything with it, so it's still here. The Miles Bridges over under at a 1.16% return. This is still lingering here. The minus 105 over at Borgata, BetMGM, the plus 110 at DraftKings. This is one that I would go and take. And let me see if I can even log in, because on my desktop, unfortunately, they have to do a location track to make sure you are in a state in which sports betting and that sports book is legal. And in my home office, for some reason, I can't get into sports books. They can't locate me, but from my phone and from my laptop, I can. So I have to kind of dig in and figure out the why and get this taken care of before I can really go into detail and show you how to go to your sports book and make these bets. But until then, like, all you have to do is you log in and to your BetMGM account or your Borgata sportsbook account. You log into your DraftKings account and you go and find this bet. You go to NBA basketball. You go to the Charlotte Hornets versus Indiana Pacers game. You'll go to the prop section, you'll find player rebounds, and then you will find Miles Bridges. When you're at BetMGM or Borgata, you will hit the over at 5.5. You will then go to DraftKings and hit the under 5.5. Now, what I suggest, right? Both BetMGM, Borgata, they have the cash out option. So does DraftKings. However, Borgata and BetMGM, you can cash out immediately, whereas DraftKings, they're not as generous with their cash outs. They're very selective on when you can and what markets you can do that with. So anytime you're doing these arbitrage bets, because the lines are moving so quickly, you should do it at BetMGM or Borgata first, because let's say you make this bet and then the other side and DraftKings no longer is there. Let's say they adjust their lines or take the bet off the table altogether for the moment. You can go ahead and cash out your Borgata or BetMGM bet at full stake, and then you go on to your next wager. You go on to your next arbitrage. A lot of other sports books, this is why you should know the rules and the ins and outs of all your sports books, because when you're doing these arbitrage bets and you're counting on both sides, you always want to make the first wager at the sports books that will let you cash out first. I cannot hammer that one home enough, because I got caught up. Again, I made some rookie mistakes early on. I'm doing a lot better, obviously, now. But, these are some tips and tricks that you should be utilizing when you're, placing arbitrage wagers. So again, right now you are at BetMGM or Borgata, and let's say you want to do $100. Now you could do 500. but player props, again, when you're making large player prop wagers, it might trigger off whoever the hell limits you and say, hey, this isn't normal. Most people are making $500, $1,000 player prop bets. This could be a pro, this could be an arbitrage guy, and then smack that you're limited the next day or at the next bet. But you can do it. You can get away with it for a little bit. So if you want to do 500 up top at BetMGM Borgata, then you hit the place bet. That locks in. You go to DraftKings. You already have that selected. The plus 110 odds on the Miles Bridges under total rebounds. And then you put in 464.85. Again, I would round up to 485. The total stake, 464.85, or a flat 965. Then you have your total payout, 976 and change, and your total profit. You will make an $11 profit, guys. On a, of course, you're staking a little bit of money. You're staking $965, but you are getting $11 in change in 100% guaranteed risk-free profit. And this is only on a arbitrage opportunity with a 1.16% return. Imagine getting this, and I'm just going to use this 255 an example. Imagine going 500 up top and then 348.15 on the bottom, a total stake of 848.15. Bang! You're looking at $22.22 risk-free money. So, like, you know, this is one of those things. You need to be refreshing and checking the arbitrage page, you know, sporadically throughout the day as you have time. Not everybody can sit home. You know, I work out of a home office. I'm fortunate enough, sometimes unfortunately, because I also have to take care of the house and the kid. But, you know, I have the free time to do this. But, like, if you're at work and you're on your lunch break, open up your phone, open up your laptop and go check the arbitrage tools page over at OddsJam, because you never know when there's going to be a 2.55% return arbitrage opportunity. Hell, you could run into a 5%, and if you're at a 5%, you could be looking at a $40 return, a $40 risk-free guaranteed profitable return. With the arbitrage tools over at OddsJam. So you got to keep your head on a swivel and always be looking. Right now, bang, out of nowhere, I hit the refresh button, and here is an arbitrage opportunity, 6.3. Again, we cannot place it because the top is at Pinnacle. However, where there's a discrepancy here, obviously, and it's that Chris Sale total strikeout one again. So you can go ahead and place this wager, go back to it, plus 150 over at DraftKings. This is now minus 115 over at Pinnacle. This is an even better wager to make, a more profitable wager to make right now than it was a few minutes ago. So, I mean, that's the ins and outs of this arbitrage betting. And if you haven't tried it, you must try it. It is absolute risk-free money. And once you get into arbitrage, right, because this is how I started. I started out with arbitrage betting using the tools at OddsJam. And then, you know, once I started to get limited because again, rookie mistakes, I was laying a little bit too high money, and I started winning a lot at some sports books, and then I started getting limited at Borgata and BetMGM. Then Sugar House started messing with me a little bit. Eventually, within time, you'll be limited a lot of spots if you're profitable, but they limited me really quick, and then I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm making good money doing this, so what is my option? All of a sudden, hey, there's that positive expected value tool over at OddsJam that I can use as well. And there are triple the opportunities, quadruple the opportunities for plus EV bets over at OddsJam. And that's another story for another video that I will do really, really soon. But if you don't want to wait, go to YouTube. go to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and there are plenty of videos about plus EV betting, almost uploaded daily. I do them, focusing on the NFL. I'll probably branch into, a few other sports moving forward, but right now I strictly do NFL. My latest video on plus EV opportunities and the NFL should be there right now. It is on tomorrow night's Thursday night football game between the Denver Broncos and Cleveland Browns. But I'll be doing more throughout the week leading into week 7. But that's going to do it for today's show about arbitrage betting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter at The Real NFL Guru. You can also reach out to OddsJam at OddsJam on Twitter. You can go to the website. There's a chat feature, there's an email feature. If you have any questions on the tools or the subscription or how OddsJam works or why it is so profitable or anything about OddsJam, go to the website, reach out to the staff on Twitter. They will be more than happy to answer your questions. And make sure, if you want, let's say you're a little bit, on the fence about signing up to the subscription, you can sign up to the OddsJam newsletter, and every day in your inbox, there will be some absolutely free, profitable betting opportunities, whether it's arbitrage or positive expected value opportunities for free in your mailbox to try it out. Always videos showing you opportunities. So if you're on the fence, go check that stuff out, because I guarantee at the end of the day, you will be going to oddsjam.com and subscribing and becoming a customer of OddsJam. And when you are a customer of OddsJam, you will 100% become a profitable sports bettor when it's all said and done. Guys, this has been great. My name is Anthony Cervino. Follow me on Twitter at The Real NFL Guru. Follow the show at OddsJam. We can be found at all of the top social media podcast platforms. Good luck on any wagers you have going on tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.